and welcome to Behind the Stunts, episode 5. How are you? I know a lot of you have had a very busy week indeed. You're probably still suffering from a headache or two after celebrating the Taurus World Stunt Awards for 2013 there in Hollywood on Saturday, just gone, Saturday night. Well, it was a huge result, wasn't it? I mean, let's be fair, great results right across the board, and very well deserved, each and everybody who took part and was nominated. The nominations, I've had a look through the nominations, and just some extraordinary stuff. Pick a winner out of that if you have to. I mean, but I wouldn't have wanted to be in the shoes of the person picking the winner. Now, we're going to have a look at some of those categories, please, if we may. I'd like to look at all of them, but the results are really still very slow in getting through, so I'm still sifting through that information because it's not televised here in the UK. Used to be televised and now isn't for one reason or another, so we're having to do the very best we can. We start with Best Fight. Now, Best Fight was over 3 movies, but 5 fights altogether. The first was from the Avengers. There was 2 fights from the Expendables 2, and then the last 2 were from Safe. We'll start at the very top. The Avengers, this was for Best Fight, and it has the double here is the very fabulous Heidi Moneymaker, and you'll see exactly why this got nominated, and you'll also see exactly why it won. This was the winner of this particular category. Look at this.
I'm in the middle of an interrogation. This moron is giving me everything.
I don't give everything.
Look, you can't pull me out of this right now.
Natasha. Barton's been compromised.
Let me put you on hold.
Fight sitting down, why not? And do it in terrific style like that. So that was the winner. Heidi Moneymaker picks up an award. There's a whole heap of stunt guys there as well, who very, very deservedly win awards for taking part in that fight, so fair play to you. The next 2 fights were from the Expendables 2, the first of which is Jet Li doing his thing in a kitchen. Now, the fight in the kitchen, obviously, lots of utility bits and pieces going on, plates and knives and anything that's usable is used in this fight. Take a look. Don't mess with him in the kitchen, right? That's the last thing you want to do, is mess with that guy in the kitchen. Particularly if there's cutlery and crockery knocking about, stay well out of his way. Another terrific fight. Lots of great use of props and bits and pieces in that. They're really very, very good fights indeed, and well worth the nomination. The next fight was also from the Expendables 2, and was very much this particular movie's version of the Rumble in the Jungle, right? Sly versus Van Damme, and you wouldn't want to get in the middle of these pair, particularly when they're doing a large proportion of it themselves. You know, there's a great amount of stuff that's going on themselves. Asen Asanov is Sly's double, and Trajan Milanov-Troy doubles Van Damme for some of the larger, more complicated sequences here. But they are doing a large proportion of this themselves, and Sly hasn't lost any of that powerful right hand Rocky Balboa punching look. Take a look at this. It's brilliant stuff.
You must want to hurt me bad.
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm gonna take your life.
Come. my money's worth. Come on, get up. Coming right up. Going back down.
Tastes good?
Look into me. Time to wrap this up.
Slap, bang, crash, wallop. Everything you want from a fight between those pair. Just awesome stuff. The last section of fights come from another movie called Safe. Safe was Jason Statham. Ironically, Statham will crop up again later on because we're covering Hummingbird as our featured picture for this week. Safe was made last year. A couple of really decent fights here. Confined spaces, the first of which is on the subway. So a fight on a subway. Seats, lots of other people. Uprights to hold on to, confined spaces. Look at this.
You? The garbage collector?
I never collected garbage. I disposed of it.
Another example why taking the train isn't always the best way, particularly when Jason's in a mood, as he clearly was there. The other fight that was nominated in this category in this movie is a belter. In a restaurant. All hell is breaking loose in this restaurant. A fight breaks out. The fall, incidentally, which was also part of this fight, Ben Cook was doubling Jason Statham for a fair proportion of this particular film, but also for this particular fall. Chad Stahelski was the action choreographer on this particular picture. So take a look at this, because this is really well worth it. So, real terrific stuff going on there. Chad Stahelski, incidentally, was the second unit director on Expendables 2. I called them Expandables, didn't I? I didn't mean that. That was a slip of the tongue. Expendables. Expendables 2. So you can see there's a lot of intertwining of action going on there. Then some of the fight that was taking place between Van Damme and Stallone was also happening within the confines of the movements that were happening on the train and also in the restaurant. So lots of good stuff. Best high work is the next category. We don't have clips of all of the nominations here, but what I do have is a selection of 3 of the best, and incidentally the winner is in this, right? So I'm going to show you these 3. The other ones aren't available. But firstly, I'm going to show you Alex Cross. This is a movie that was publicised to the hilt back last year, and the particular fall you're going to see is by Martin de Boer, who the beauty of the whole thing, it was a ratchet, right? Is the piece of equipment that was used during this fall, but it was the landing on the car, which is the belter, the real payoff. Have a look at this.
Enjoy this.
I felt it. I felt it from here. A real heavy fall, but beautifully done, really precision, and rightly so. That should be nominated, so fair play to Martin for that. The next one I'm going to show you is ironically from James Embree, who is the stunt reel feature that we have today, was also Jason Statham's double on Expendables. This is him doubling Henry Cavill, of Superman fame, Man of Steel fame, and this is in Cold Light of Day. And this is a really nice worked fall because it involves descenders at varying speeds, giving him toppling and turning and spinning him round from one roof to another. Look at this. And the dish comes down and fade sequence. Really terrific stuff, and I know James was very proud of that. He doubled Henry Cavill on the whole picture, and that was a great job, and deservedly so, a nomination, rightly so. Didn't win. The winner was from The Avengers. This is Sam Hargrave, you're going to see here. Why did it win? It was one sequence, one shot. It looks like it's more than one shot in the finished picture, but it is one shot. It's a ratchet through the glass, and then there's a 20-foot fall, and it's all done in one sequence. It's very good. Here it is. And there you have it. Deservedly so, you know. I mean, once again, it's a very brief sequence, but nevertheless, they've understood the principle of what needed to be done, and it's been done in a very clever way. So there we are. Best high work, The Avengers. Stunt rigging was next, and we're having trouble getting clips of a large proportion of these. What we do have is the winning clip, right? The winning sequence. It's from Dark Knight Rises, the Batman saga, and this is an incredible plane sequence. There's no doubt about it. An incredible plane sequence. Have a look at it, absorb it. It's terrific. Here we go.
Congratulations! You got yourself caught! Sir, now what's the next step of your master plan?
Crashing this plane. With no survivors. Fear. That comes later.
I mean, brilliant, absolutely breathtaking stuff. They come out of one aircraft, they hang down, there's wires hanging onto the next aircraft, all done. I mean, really very, very, very cleverly done. And rightly so that would be the winner. So I'm very pleased that took part there. So great, a lot of British interest in that picture as well. And next one was best stunt with a vehicle, and there was a large proportion of British interest in this too. And we were very lucky because the winner was Bond, Skyfall, for that incredible opening sequence. Robbie Madison was involved. And Ben Collins was involved, and Belle Williams was involved, and Mark Higgins was involved, and just terrific. So let me show you some of that if you haven't already seen it. Okay, here it is.
Today we're in Istanbul. This is like a quarter of the way through the beginning of the opening sequence. And we're now getting onto the bike section of the chase. They've come here, there's been a big crash, there's been a shootout. Patrice has escaped on a bike, Bond now jumps on a bike and he chases him, and from here it takes us through like another little marketplace, and then we're onto the rooftop sequence.
Bond and beyond, if I may use a well overworked phrase. Just awesome stuff, and for saying it was the 50th year, and it's had so many accolades left, right and centre, and so rightly so. Sam Mendes did an extraordinary job, and Gary Powell did an extraordinary job of coordinating, and rightly so, that he would also pick up the award for Best Stunt Coordinator for 2012, and nobody was going to argue with that. A wonderful performance. The ensemble that they won at the SAG Awards, the SAG Awards, and this has certainly topped it off. So hats off to Skyfall, everybody involved, Gary and the team. You guys did a brilliant job, no two ways about it. And for all those Bond fans all over the world who you've set your benchmark so high that firstly every other movie in the whole world is now trying to top what you've done on Skyfall, and now you've got to top it yourself with the next adventure, which will come out next year or the year after, depending on which newspaper you read. So extraordinary stuff, really, really fabulous. Premium Rush was also nominated for Hardest Hit. And if you're a cycling fan, you are really going to take your life in your own hands if you haven't seen this movie, because it looks like so dangerous, I can't tell you. The amount of people that are killed on a yearly basis by riding a bicycle in and out of traffic, and this movie, it's pretty much all it does. You ride bikes as fast as you can in and out of traffic. Take a look at some of this, would you? And just remarkable stuff.
Tricky. You moron! You right? You maniac! Sorry, my fault. Hey, whoa! Hey! Ah! Delinquent scum! Nice shot on a bicycle! NYPD! You just caused an accident back there! Whoa! Alright. Oh shit!
To say that hardest hit, I mean, there's some real serious belting falls taking place there, and I'm surprised that I know these guys are professionals, but you're going to pick up some injuries along the way there, surely. I mean, some extraordinary stuff. So, you know, that we were very lucky to get those clips there, because nobody's provided anything else for us, so we're having to do the very best we can. But I hope that's given you a flavour. If you weren't there, if you were there and you've got any great photos and you want to share them, send them to me. The email address behindthestunts@mail.com if you want to send them to me, you want to use them. We're on Facebook. Find us on Facebook, Behind the Stunts, on Twitter, @Stunts Central. If you have some great photos and you think, you know, I'd like to have those, then we'll put up a little gallery for 2013 for the Taurus, and we'll put them all together. We'll get all the photographs from all over the place. We'll put them all in one place, and then you can share them to your heart's content. All right, so we do that. But over here in Britain, from a television audience point of view, we're missing out. Folks in the States, if you can hear us, we need to have this streamed live. That'd be brilliant. We'll try and work on that for next year maybe, and so hopefully we might be able to stream it live into households all over the world. So there we go. Taurus, we'll have to wait another 12 months, continue in the next 12 months to do the most extraordinary work, and then we'll do all of that again. Right, it is movie time. Movie time is Hummingbird. Hummingbird is Jason Statham's new picture. He is, what is he? He's ex-Special Forces. He's on the run from a military court-martial, and he seizes someone else's identity and effectively becomes an avenging angel in the process. I mean, there's your plot and your basis right there. Statham does this very well. It's the sort of thing that he's been doing for a long time. He's dabbled with comedic roles here and there, but this is straight up and down solid action. It's safe ground. James Embree, that I mentioned earlier, is his double on the picture. Large British contingency, filmed in London. So a lot of guys, British guys, James Embree, Bradley Farmer, Jason Hunjun, Dave Judge and Aaron Lee, Rory Mulroy, John Street, Tom Struthers, Aaron Topham, and Steen Young, all stunt performers in this particular picture. Particular reference to Marlo Warrington, who not only is a stuntman on the picture, but plays the role of an Italian chef. I hope there's nothing similar to Jet Li's Fight in the Kitchen that we saw earlier on. But yes, I spoke to Marlo about it, and he said that he'd delivered one of his finest Italian stares. I sincerely hope that that's not the highlight of the picture, Marlo. So we'll see how we get on. But a really good stunt cast, good story, solid movie, great performance actually by Statham. You have moments of doubt about him from time to time, but he really delivers here, and I'm fair play to him. So anyway, this is the trailer. Okay, have a look at this.
Wake up!
Joey, don't fight back.
Run, Isabel!
Hi, this is Damon. I won't be available on this number until October the 1st. If you need me, reach me on my New York number.
Joseph, where did you get those clothes? Did you hurt someone?
Only myself. I need to keep my life back together.
Joey, that's Harlow.
What's it like, boys? You miss your train.
They say you're a hard man. It's a hot city. You want to work?
Yeah.
You know what kind of work I do.
Step out of the way, my friend.
He seems so together now. Like a different person.
Finished what I had to do.
Last night, they found a girl.
Her name's Isabel.
Did you love her?
I see what's happening in this city. They want their lives back!
Who are you?
There are things I have to do. There's enough money to get us away.
Why are you running, Joey?
You should know how it feels to be down there. There's no forgiveness.
Good stuff. Go out and see that. It's really very, very good stuff indeed. Now, stunt reel time, and we've been talking about James Embree, of course, who was doubling Jason Statham there. He has been doubling, very busy on the doubling front. Bruce Willis, he doubled in A Good Day to Die Hard, and he was one of the doubles in Jack the Giant Slayer recently. Get Lucky, which is coming out this year. Hummingbird, of course, we looked at there, and stuff in the future. Kick-Ass 2. There's World's End, which is Simon Pegg's new picture. That's coming out soon. He's in that as well. And The Muppets again. Yes, he's going to be in The Muppets again. That's next year, I would have thought, not this year. We're going to see stuff here from Warhorse. We're going to see stuff from Dark Knight Rises and Sherlock Holmes and a whole bunch of stuff. It's really nicely put together. There's some terrific stuff here. We're also going to see Cold Light of Day that we saw a little earlier on. There's some clips of that as well. This is James Embree, British stunt performer and all-round damn fine bloke. Here we go.
Hey, why don't you pick on someone your own size?
There we go. Fine reel, really good stuff. You'd be surprised how many, I say that because you'd be surprised how many reels I look at. I see an awful lot, and you go through them and there are moments of greatness, and then sometimes there are moments of not so greatness, and you wished from a viewer's point of view that the person whose reel it was had spotted that that doesn't need to be there. That reel is a great example of what needs to be in a reel. We're very lucky with the reels that we've seen so far. Andy Wareham's reel, James Embree's reel, good length, good content, solid action. You know, there's very, very good. So really enjoy that. Great stuff. And long may he continue his very successful career. It has come to our classic stunt sequence time. It's a particular favourite of mine. They're all particular favourites of mine. I know I say that every week, but it is a particular favourite of mine, and it's from the movie Stick, which was a Burt Reynolds picture from 1985. It wasn't a great Burt Reynolds movie. He should never have directed it, if the truth be known. He had so much on his plate. What he did have was he had a henchman in this movie played by the very fabulous Dar Robinson. One of his last roles. He sadly passed away not too long after the picture was completed. Dar had become a real part of the Burt Reynolds team, particularly after Sharky's Machine, where he'd come out backwards from 160 feet, doubling Henry Silver. An extraordinary fall. But he wanted to go one better, was continually developing methods of filming and types of shots that were previously thought impossible. Dar would make them work. And so when he said to Burt that he'd like to act, Burt assumed in a small role. This was a very large role. I mean, it wasn't a small role. This was a major role in the movie. The studio were concerned about the whole thing, but Burt, once he'd made his decision that Dar was going to do it, he was going to do it. And so he had to coordinate a lot of the action with Glenn Wilder, who was the stunt coordinator on the picture. Do all of his acting and get all of that, all the lines, and do all of that, and then prepare for this, which we're going to see, which was the biggest fall, the biggest stunt in the picture. It is 200 feet backwards from a building with no airbag, right? It is a brilliant example of the decelerator at work, worked out with pistons and all sorts of bits and pieces. It effectively works out the speed you're traveling, the distance you're going, how heavy you are, and works out how far you are between there and the ground, and slows you down. Slows you down before you get to the ground. And he did a couple of test falls with a safety rope. He didn't have that particular luxury for the stunt itself. And this is the final product, and it's excellent. Watch this.
What's the matter, Bunny Eyes? Losing your grip?
Please help me.
Why don't you push real hard? You might hit the water.
Woof. 200 feet, no airbag, falling backwards, the people on the ground scattering, and he fires all 6 shots from that gun all the way down. Working the whole time, trying to keep his body in a particular position. The cable, incidentally, because this is before CGI, right? There was no CGI here. The cable is up his left leg, attached to a harness. That's why he's keeping his left leg very still during that fall. His right leg is the one that's making a lot of movement, and his left arm, but he's firing with that gun, and he fires all the way down. Have a look at it again here in slow-mo. And bearing in mind that Burt was leaning over the balcony looking down at this, so what he saw, we saw it from just the side there, but the image that he saw, wow, I tell you, that would have taken your breath away fully. Just let's have a look at this in slow motion. Worth every penny of the fee on its own, frankly. So, terrific stuff. And that was a real a real heart-stopping moment, and rightly so. In 1985, this is way before the Taurus, the Hollywood Stuntman's Awards happened every year. Lee Majors was presenting, that was the host of the show this year, and that was the winner of Best High Work, and rightly so. Absolutely incredible stuff. So there we go. That's us for this particular week. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Stay safe. Keep posting all your bits and pieces on the websites and various other bits and pieces. The website, incidentally, behindthestunts.co.uk, we are slowly but surely starting to bring that together, and that will come to a close at the end of the month, and all of the content of that will be available via Twitter and via the Facebook, and also via this particular channel on YouTube. So keep an eye out, but we are slowly but surely bringing that to a head, and then we're going to start moving into the show and trying to put everything into that as well. So keep following, keep posting, and we'll see you all very soon. All right, thanks very much indeed. All the very best. Bye for now.